Alright, so before this video starts, I should tell you all that there will be spoilers for the Super Mario Brothers movie in this video. So if you haven't seen it yet, click off, go see that movie, and then come back. Alright, now on with the video. It is at this moment that we have to ask ourselves, how did we get here? Princess Peach is a stupid character for jerks. She's so mean to Mario. She gets kidnapped all the time, and I hate everything about her. I'm like, that pretty much summed up my opinion on Peach for years. However, once the movie came out and I watched it and I reflected on Peach's history throughout the franchise, my opinion on her shifted. So today, I'm going to be taking a look at her history throughout the franchise, how she developed, and where I think they should go with her in the future. One thing that sparked my shift on my view of Princess Peach's character was a recent interview with Shigeru Miyamoto, where he basically said that movie Peach was the character they were always trying to convey with her. And then I reflected on the media that was released with Mario in the beginning, and then I had a realization. He's right. In the 80s and 90s, Peach was a pretty cool character. She was even playable every now and then. In Super Mario Bros. 2, she is arguably the best character to play as in the game. And in the cartoons, she is a character who cares deeply about her friends and her people. She does get kidnapped, yes, but these are due to circumstances beyond her control. And she even rescues the Mario Brothers every now and then. It was pretty cool. But of course, I have saved the best version of Peach for last. The Super Mario Adventures comic Peach. Wow, this character is great. Everything I talked about with Cartoon Peach also applies to Adventures Peach times 10, so I won't really focus on that. However, there is another aspect of this character that is really emphasized in Adventures that I would like to talk about, and it's probably my favorite aspect of her. Peach is not shallow. She is not Olive. She is not going to switch who she's interested in based on whatever guy is giving her attention. If you were to have her choose between Mario and Bowser, she's picking Mario in a heartbeat regardless of how much attention Bowser gives her, because Bowser is obsessive, dangerous, and has put her entire kingdom at risk. Remember I said this. Keep this in mind for later. Looking back at stuff like how the game manuals described her, the dialogue she did have back in those old days, the RPGs like Paper Mario, which characterized her pretty well, just like in Adventures and the cartoons, to said Adventures and cartoons, this is how they wanted Peach to be back in the 80s and 90s, and she was a really good character back in these days. So I have to ask, what happened in the 2000s? Peach's decline as a character began in Super Mario Sunshine. Now, I love this game a lot, but I do not like Peach in this game at all. She sees the imposter Mario, yet she says nothing to Mario or anybody else. Yeah, they were distracted, but given the fact that she is royalty, I think she could convince them to listen to her for a few minutes. And her kidnapping scene? It's an absolute joke. In the previous games, we never actually saw her get kidnapped, and when we saw her get kidnapped in Super Mario Adventures or in the cartoons, it was because of circumstances beyond her control. But this scene really speaks for itself, so I'll just play it. Oh no, how horrible. If only there was something she could do. Something that every single human being with working legs is capable of doing. Like... Thankfully, her old personality stays intact in both Thousand Year Door and Super Paper Mario, and also the Mario and Luigi games as well. So her character was inconsistent in the 2000s. Sometimes she was the way she always was, and sometimes she was a complete airhead idiot. Was she any better in the 2010s? No, in fact, she got worse. They really just gave up on her kidnapping scenes during the 2010s. These are all so stupid, and she doesn't even attempt to run away. But, if they keep her personality consistent with the way she was in the 80s and 90s and some of the 2000s, that can be forgiven. And then Super Mario Odyssey happened. Once again, Super Mario Odyssey is a really good game, and I love it. But it's time to talk about the ending. And boy, is this ending terrible. Now, to sum up the ending really quick, Mario, after rescuing Peach from a forced marriage, is planning on proposing to her, but Bowser gets in the way, they fight a bit, and Peach rejects them both. Now, what's the problem with this? Well, the fact that she actually had a hard time choosing between Mario and Bowser. I've heard some people try to defend Peach here by saying Mario was acting immature, but the only reason he was acting that way was because Peach was showing interest in Bowser. The guy who put her people and her kingdom at risk, the guy who tried to force her to marry him in this exact same game, and also in this exact same game, stole from multiple other kingdoms. Yep, this is not the guy to be showing interest in regardless of the situation. Even all that aside, this just isn't a good ending. This is the same game that has multiple unique and cool worlds, multiple likable and fun characters to talk to, and is a grand journey. You do not end that game with an SNL skit, because that is what this is. This is a parody of the Mario characters. This is not them. My jaw dropped when I saw this ending. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But you know what's even worse than this ending? How about the post-game where Peach leaves her castle and kingdom without telling anybody to go on a worldwide trip, which includes Bowser's kingdom? I really hope I do not have to explain why that is horrible. This game really soured my opinion on Princess Peach. Every single time I saw her in one of the past games, every single time I had to rescue her, that ending and that post-game came to my mind. With that context, rescuing her became a chore, and the whole Save Princess Peach thing was already growing stale by the time Odyssey came out. But then, of course, the movie trailer where they first showed Peach came out, and I really liked her character in it. I was thinking, finally, we actually have a good Peach. Yeah, I completely forgot about the Mario Adventures comic for some reason. And after watching the movie twice, I can confirm that this is Peach at her best. She's a really likable character here. There are so many scenes that she is just fantastic, and everything I liked about her from the 80s and 90s is here in full force. Hearing her say to Bowser, "You really thought I'd marry you? I'd never marry a monster," after Super Mario Odyssey's ending was just so good to hear. One thing I really like that they added to her is that she's really familiar with her kingdom and the area surrounding it. She would have to be if she was ruling over it. And of course, there was also the relationship between Mario and Peach. They never actually become a full-on couple, but the chemistry is there and you can definitely tell they're building up to it. Just about every scene where they were just talking with each other and having fun dialogue, my thought process was going, alright, just kiss already. So yeah, I really liked Peach in the movie. This is definitely without question my favorite interpretation of the character. So I went home after the movie theater and decided to pick up one of my favorite childhood games, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I got to the part with the final boss, I saw Peach in the cage, and something was different this time. Rather than being filled with, oh great, here we go again, the first thing that came to my mind was, perhaps I treated you too harshly. Seeing the movie didn't just make me like this version of Peach. It also reminded me of the one from the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. It reminded me of Peach from Super Mario Adventures. It reminded me of Paper Mario Peach. It reminded me of RPG Peach. It reminded me of the manuals where Peach was described, and so on and so forth. At that moment, I completely forgot about the college humor skit that they called an ending for Odyssey. Right, so what about the future? How do I think they should handle Peach in the future of the franchise? Well, I think it's obvious that I think they should keep the personality they've already established in the movies and apply it to the games. I'm not saying they should completely get rid of the Go Save Peach from Bowser storyline, but that was growing stale over time. I'm glad the movie didn't really do it, so taking a break from it every now and then would be nice. Oh, yeah, and here's the most important part: don't do anything like Super Mario Odyssey's ending ever again. This was a huge mistake, and I really hope Nintendo doesn't repeat it. Having a character get assassinated and then coming back stronger than ever definitely isn't unheard of, and I really hope they do that with Peach. They're taking that first step to do it, so let's hope they take the rest of them. Alright, see you guys later. Bye.